This evening's performance are highly encouraged. We do ask that you silence all electronic devices. Thank you. The United States Air Force is pleased to partner with the Madison Daily Leader to bring you this evening's concert. Please help me in thanking Marcia Showgirl for their dedication to bring this free concert to Madison. And now, please welcome Offutt Brass. And join us in singing our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Master Sergeant Ben Cato, and we are Offutt Brass. On behalf of the Commander of Air Combat Command, General Mike Holmes, I just want to thank you for joining us this evening. We're from Offutt Air Force Base, just south of Omaha, Nebraska, and part of our mission is to get off base and connect with audiences throughout the Midwest using music. So tonight we have a wide variety of music for you on the program there. But to begin, we want to start with something original. You know, the Air Force is very proud of the innovation of its airmen, and to showcase that tonight, we'd like to perform an original composition by our very own Staff Sergeant Dan Thrower. So you can see by the title, it has a local connection. The idea for this piece came about a year ago as we were driving up I-29 from Omaha. We kept seeing those signs along the road for the actual Lewis and Clark Trail sites. And someone thought it'd be a good idea to write a piece to commemorate such a historic event in our nation's history. And Sergeant Thrower jumped at the opportunity. The beginning of the piece is going to be exciting. As you can imagine, they must have felt as they departed on their expedition. The middle is slow and serene to honor the one man who died, Sergeant Floyd. And then it ends again with excitement, as you could imagine they felt as they approached the Pacific Ocean and saw it for the first time. So this is Lewis and Clark Trail.
Thank you very much. It's a lot more fun to hear the music on live instruments rather than on the computer playing back at me. Now, as military musicians, we realize that audiences come expecting a few things, like seeing the sharp uniforms they make us wear, and the shiny shoes, and the short haircuts, and in some cases, the no hair. We also realize that you come expecting to hear a march, and tonight we are happy to oblige. The composer of tonight's march is none other than the March King, John Philip Sousa. Now, Sousa is one of our favorite composers, because he's a military guy, of course. And we're convinced that if he were alive today, he'd be an airman, writing marches for the Air Force, but that didn't exist in his day, so he wrote for the Marine Corps and the Army, and the one you're going to hear tonight, and the Navy, sorry, left that out. The march you're going to hear tonight was written for the cavalry just toward the end of World War I in 1918. And this is Saber and Spurs. And you're going to hear in this march some clever word painting with the cavalry. You'll hear some bugle calls and some horse hooves. So I hope you enjoy Saber and Spurs by John Philip Sousa.
So opera music In its earliest conception, was reserved for leaders around the world and wasn't really watched or appreciated by a wide variety of audiences. It wasn't really until the mid-20th century, whenever stars on the stage, and I'm sure some come to mind right now, brought opera music to a platform around the world that was appreciated by everybody equally. I mean, I'm sure we can all think of some common names. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Offutt, Tom and Jerry got in on it a little bit there. You know, these stars of the silver screen, thanks to their Looney Tunes, brought opera music all across this country and many others. And people around the world enjoyed their silly antics. And killed a rabbit, and all the good stuff. You know, horns on the head, braids on Bugs Bunny. I went back and watched a few classics last night on YouTube. Well, tonight, we're going to do the same, we hope, and bring a little bit of opera to you. The music of Giacomo Rossini is known around the world. I mean, I'm sure you can think of William Tell, and the Lone Ranger brought that to the big screen. And then tonight, we're going to be playing a famous piece, Largo al Factotum, which is a mouthful, from Arkansas. I don't speak Italian. And you may know it as that Figaro song. Yeah, there we go. That's going to ring a bell. Famous baritone solo. It's going to be performed tonight by our very own tubist, Master Sergeant Alex Serwatowski. He's been with us in the military for over 23 years now, and has a brilliant depth of experience playing the tuba, and you're going to get to enjoy him bring this piece of music to life tonight for you. I know you're going to enjoy it. So please welcome, as he attempts to dethrone Bugs Bunny, our very own Master Sergeant Alex Serwatowski.
Now, many of you may know that George Gershwin was one of the most iconic American composers of the 20th century. He's known especially for his jazz-influenced style, both in his scores for Broadway pit orchestra and in his scores for larger concert orchestra, works like American in Paris and Rhapsody in Blue. Now, the song that we're going to play for you today was originally published as part of a musical in 1930 called Girl Crazy. It's called Embraceable You. Originally on stage, it featured the great Ginger Rogers with a routine choreographed by none other than Fred Astaire. Many people also know it from its most famous appearance on the TV screen played by the great Judy Garland. Now, like many of George and Ira Gershwin's tunes, after its run on Broadway, it became an immensely popular Great American standard. And so artists ranging from great singers like Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole, Billie Holiday, to jazzers like Charlie Parker, Clifford Brown, all put their kind of unique spin on this tune. So tonight, in honor of Valentine's Day, which is coming up here pretty soon, we would like to give you our version of this tune. This is arranged by our very own Staff Sergeant Dan Thrower, and it will feature our outstanding vocal soloist, Senior Airman Leah Richling. Senior Airman Richling comes originally from Cross, Wisconsin, and holds degrees from both Wichita State University and Luther College. So please help us welcome her to the stage on Gershwin's Embraceable You.
Now this one goes out to all of you lovebirds tonight.
Just what I need.
And that was Senior Airman Aaliyah Richling. I'd like to take a brief moment now and introduce you to the band. We're going to start on the end over here. He is our tour director, which means he gets us safely all around the Midwest, booking our gigs for us. He's from Houston, Texas. This is Staff Sergeant Nathan Owen. Next to him on trumpet, we have the newest member of Offutt Brass. 4 months ago, he was in basic training. And he's just fabulous. He's integrated with us just in a matter of months, so we're so happy to have him. He's from Boulder, Colorado. This is Airman First Class Steven Spink. Our resident composer and arranger, the music director of Offutt Brass. He's from Orem, Utah. This is Staff Sergeant Dan Thrower. Once again, our featured tuba soloist. He's the principal tuba player, actually, of Offutt Brass. He's from Detroit, Michigan, over 23 years in the Air Force. This is Master Sergeant Alex Surotowski. And our resident opera expert back there on percussion from Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is Technical Sergeant Jarrett Robinette. My name is Master Sergeant Ben Cato from Perham, Minnesota. Yeah, sure, you betcha. So this next piece, we hope you recognize the composer. He's written for almost every blockbuster movie imaginable. Fun fact, he was actually a member of the United States Air Force back in the 1950s as a arranger and a piano player. The Battle of Midway was an epic battle, a turning point in the Pacific, happened 6 months after Pearl Harbor. The piece we're about to play was from a movie in the 1970s, but did anyone see the remake that came out last November entitled Midway? Outstanding, a few have. If you haven't seen it, it's a fantastic movie. But my favorite part was they highlighted how military musicians helped crack the code. So if you have time for a quick story, the Navy musicians of the USS California were called up by the cryptologists in Pearl Harbor because of their education and their ability to notice patterns. And so they thought they would be helpful in cracking that code, which they did, because we all know the Battle of Midway. We all know what happened there. So anyway, we hope you enjoy this Midway March.
take a brief intermission, but before we do that, I'd like to tell you if you're taking pictures or video tonight, we would certainly appreciate it if you share those items with us, and you can do that across our social media platforms. On the back side of your program, you'll see some contact information. You can always find us on social media if you use the symbol @AF Heartland Band. You can email us those items. More importantly, we'd like to know what you thought of our program. You might have a favorite piece or maybe a favorite performer. Could happen. You might have a question or comment about our instruments. Whatever your thoughts or comments are, we're very interested in that. So you can, again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. If you like to put pen to paper and fire off letters, you can do that too. Our boss's boss at Langley Air Force Base, Colonel Alan Heritage, he enjoys getting a good letter about the Heartland of America Band. So those are just a number of ways that you can connect with us. About 1,200 miles south of here is, along the Mississippi, is the great city of New Orleans. And it's a festive town if you've ever been there. Great food, great music. In fact, it's the birthplace of jazz, which is a uniquely American art form. Right now in New Orleans, they're gearing up for Mardi Gras, and we wanted to bring you a piece of that tonight. So we're going to end this first half with a traditional Dixieland piece called That's a Plenty.